Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you are new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you. I'd love you to hit that subscribe button before leaving and give it a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get started. So today's video, I'm super excited because I finally got my hands on the foundation that so many YouTubers have been talking about, which is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Water. None of the stores by me carried this. So we happened to be out of town actually in Orlando, and one of the stores there had it. So of course I grabbed it and picked it up. I got it in shade 405. One of the things that intrigued me the most about this foundation, and I hope that my hopes are not crushed on this, but I've heard some other YouTubers compare it to the Giorgio Armani foundation that so many people love, and I think the foundation's like $64. Whereas this one's only a $14.99. This came in the mail with it. And it has 30 different shades, so it has a really good shade range. And it's supposed to be a natural matte finish. It's supposed to be their most lightweight, breathable, long wear foundation. So I'm super excited to try this, especially if it is comparable to the Giorgio Armani one. I've always wanted to try that, but I honestly haven't wanted to drop $64 just to try it out. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. brush on one side with it, and on the other I'm going to use my L'Oreal sponge. I already have my eyes done, and I have on my vitamin C serum. If you want to know what I'm wearing, I will link it down below. So let's go see. I do like that it is a glass bottle and it is a pump, so that's nice. Let me pump it a couple times since it's brand new. Ooh, it is really runny, which I guess kind of goes with the water part of it. But here it is. You can see how runny it is. When I swatched it in the store, it looked like this would be my closest matched because it looked like it had a little bit more of a pink undertone compared to the porcelain one. The porcelain one, right, this is this porcelain or is this one ivory? Not even quite sure now. But one of them had more of a yellowish golden undertone, whereas this one had more of a pink. So if you have more of a pink undertone, I'd go with the 405. Okay, so we're gonna use the brush on this side. Usually I do my foundation before my eyes, but I wanted this video to mostly be about the foundation. So it's gonna be a little more tricky for me because I usually put it on my eyelids while I'm doing foundation. It does have a kind of a strong sort of floral smell. I don't really know. It is a pretty strong smell, but it is nothing compared to the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. That one had well, that one would smell like more like acetone. Okay, so this is definitely a very high coverage foundation. Wow, I mean, look at that. You can totally see the difference on both sides. I look like I'm wearing a mask. It definitely did a great job covering. It did a great job covering. It definitely looks like with the brush that it is a medium, I would say almost really full coverage foundation because I generally go for light to medium, and this is a lot more made up than what I'm used to. It might also have been that I used a little bit too much, but it definitely is covering like really well. Okay, let's go ahead and try it with the sponge on this side and see. Usually with a brush you get more coverage than when you use a sponge. A sponge usually makes it a little lighter of a coverage, which as of right now I can tell you using my sponge I'm liking it better just because I prefer light to medium coverage, and this to me is looking more natural on this side. So depending upon what you prefer, if you use a brush and you can definitely see a difference. I mean, you can see kind of the little bit of a redness coming through on this side, and you can kind of see my skin. It definitely looks very pretty, and it is like a natural matte. There's not much, I mean, it has a little bit of dewiness to it, but not much. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all, which is nice. The fragrance isn't bothering me too much. I can smell it, but it's not like terrible. So for my preference, I prefer the sponge side only because I like that more natural look where it's not really heavy. Oh, my cat is saying hi. Say hi to everyone. Sorry. On this side, it's more of a natural look. I love that it's more of the light coverage, whereas this one looks definitely like my skin is flawless, but it definitely looks like I'm wearing makeup, but not in a bad way. Let me see if I can build it up if you're the type of person that likes more foundation with the sponge on this side, just to see if it's buildable. Okay, it does appear to be buildable, and it's not like getting cakey or anything. It looks great building it up. And it does have more coverage now, just like this side, but I can still see a little bit of a difference. Like this is more getting closer to full coverage now, but it still looks more natural, if that makes sense, than this side. But it's sitting beautifully on the skin. I mean, my skin looks just airbrushed and perfected. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It definitely feels very lightweight for how much coverage that it has, because most of the time full foundations, like especially on this side, would feel very heavy and like you're wearing makeup. I don't really notice that with it, but my skin just looks amazing. Like it's sitting on it like very, very pretty. It looks like, if you look close up, like my cheeks right here just look like the pores are blurred, and it looks really, really pretty. So I have to say, I'm so happy that I'm getting the same results as other YouTubers. I know sometimes when you try foundations, because of skin tones being different and the way your texture is and everything else, like some foundations look really good on some people and then not on others, just depending upon your skin type. So I'm really excited that I like this one. I personally will be using it with a sponge just to make it look more natural, and I probably won't even build it up like I just did for you, but I wanted to see, for those of you that like it build up, if you could. It looks so pretty. I can tell you though, it's already starting to settle into this fine line right here. Do you see that right there? Oh, I can see it even on this side too with the brush. Let me bring you in just a little bit closer. So I don't know if you can see it right there. It is settling into the lines in my face. It looks so pretty. Besides that though, like my cheeks, I love the way my cheeks look in this. I mean, they just look flawless, but it is settling. So just a good thing to note, that it is. I mean, I just put it on and it's already settling. But maybe if I kind of thin it out around that area, maybe I can get it to not do that. All right, let me finish my makeup and then see if it settles again after doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put on my Maybelline Fit Me blush in Nude. As you can see, I really, really like this blush. I've already hit pan on it. It's such a beautiful, it's the dupe for my Bobbi Brown Antigua blush. I love this blush, and it is such a good price point. It has this beautiful pink sheen to it, but it's not glittery or anything, so it just gives your cheeks like a nice, beautiful, like rosy flush. I love it, and I will be definitely repurchasing this. But look how pretty that is. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set under my eyes with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Now, I've talked about in some of my other videos, I don't see other YouTubers do this, but I like to swipe it underneath my eye and then bring it down along my nose. I do this more of like a highlight contour because of being so fair skinned, instead of using a dark bronzer as a contour. I like to do it with this because I feel like it brightens up my face and it contours in a more natural way without the darkness. So I really like, I just put it under my eye and then bring it like in the middle and bring it down on both sides. And I think it really does a great job of making my nose more contoured, but not with a bronzer. So if you're fair skin, try that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill in. I did pluck my eyebrows over here to make them a little bit shorter so that they matched a little bit better on each side. So I'm going to fill in just a little bit with my Benefit Brow in shade 3, just to make them a little bit more even. But I feel like ever since I plucked them, I don't really have to fill in too much. I'm just gonna brush it back up to kind of blend in that color there. Okay, and then I'm going to end my look. I'm going to use my Revlon, this is HD Sand. It's a beautiful neutral color that doesn't like dull out your skin. I have to say, this foundation, out of all of them, I think looks the prettiest on camera. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? just a hint, I didn't realize this when I bought this HD sand, it smells fruity. So just a heads up on that. But it's a beautiful color and it doesn't wash you out if you're super pale. And then I'm going to top it with my favorite lip gloss, which is the Revlon Supernatural, just to give it a little bit of a sheen. All right, and there you go. So this foundation looks beautiful on camera. I'm really curious what you guys think. Please comment below and tell me what you think. But I think it photographs, like in photography, like really, really nicely. I mean, my skin, I don't know, it just looks fresh, and I agree with the fresh part, and just really well put together. I don't know, I really like the way my skin looks with this foundation on. Okay, so looking in the mirror in front of me, I like it just as much as I do on camera. I still notice it is settling into my fine lines up here on my forehead, but that's kind of with every foundation. Down here, though, is where sometimes I don't have as much settle because of them being less of a line, but I am seeing it again. So I don't know if you can see it right there, but just in the time that I put on my blush and my lipstick, it is starting to settle into that crease again. So I don't know, but other than that, it looks really, really pretty. And it definitely gives more of a medium to full coverage. Unless you use your sponge and you use it very light-handedly, you could get a little bit lighter. But definitely on the brush side, it looks, I don't know, like a professional makeup artist did my makeup or something. It just looks a lot different than what I'm used to wearing. So it is beautiful, and I'm so glad that I tried it out. I got it in the shade 405. If you have not tried this, I do recommend. If you have any within these 30 shade ranges, which is a pretty good range, they have yellow undertone, pink undertone, but I really think that you guys will be, let's see, 405 is porcelain on here. So I did not get the lightest, which was pearl. And then the other one was ivory, because sometimes I'm ivory in some of the drugstore foundations. This one was more yellow based. So I did go with the porcelain in this one because it had a little bit less of a yellow, I don't know if you can see that, and more of a pink undertone. So I'm very pleasantly surprised. This is very pretty, and I know why there's such a big hype about this on YouTube. So I highly recommend it. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that I will see you in my next videos. Bye guys.